Welcome back to the Derwent, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. An incredible day on the Derwent, and in front of us we have the Corby 49 Happy Wanderer. They were slightly becalmed just back at the 2 nautical mile mark, but they've managed to find some breeze, almost coming out of southwest almost. Big shift on port. And I just said maybe these guys will take some time to finish when this magical puff came over Mount Wellington, and off we go again. Now it's owned by Daniel Cannon. This is his second Rolex Sydney Hobart race, and on board he has Justin Bain, Josh Cook, Samuel Fole, Hamish Johnston, James Keane, Andrew Marr, Greg Marshall and Max Pemberton. Out of the CYCA, but it's a Western Australian boat, which is just phenomenal. Long way from WA all the way around to Sydney to then take on the Rolex Sydney Hobart. Oof, big header now, but still breeze on, which is quite handy. Looks like there's a bit more breeze up in front as well. Oh, they'll be relieved. No fun being becalmed when you're heading into the finish of your race. And it is very tricky sailing up the Derwent. I like to call it the gauntlet. We could call it like the Dauntlet. It's a cross between Derwent and Gauntlet. Very puffy, very shifty, and if you saw the last finish with the Caprice 40, they also had to deal with similar conditions. About a nautical mile now from the finish line. We can see it. I think we will be about 10 minutes from the line. See the crew members pointing to where the finish line is well to the left now. They've headed right down back into that west quadrant. And this could still take some time to get to the finish, but it's a lot less time than I was thinking, let me tell you. Thinking, oh no. I know that Leander's on the dock waiting for these guys. I'll tell you a little bit about this boat. Happy Wanderer was formerly known as Limit. Before that it was known as Vamp or Abbott's Vamp. It's a Corby 49. It was designed and built by John Corby in 2002. She was renamed Happy Wanderer for the 2024 Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race in support of the Wandering Warriors. It's a charity that provides tertiary education and mentoring opportunities for Australian Defence Force veterans. Very special. The charity is also building a network of companies that are committed to creating employment opportunities for ex-ADF veterans. The crew consists of amateur sailors from across the country, led by Dan Cannon, as I mentioned, who's doing his second Hobart. Most of the team has previously raced with Damien Parks on Denali. And this latest Happy Wanderer last raced in 2019. Very cool flag too, great logo. A few sponsors on board you can see that are supporting their campaign for the Happy Wanderer or the Wandering Warriors. We do quite a bit of work with the saltwater veterans who rehabilitate veterans who have PTSD through sailing, which is pretty special. Sailing just does that way of making sure that you're occupied fully. Perhaps this breeze will hold and we'll see these finishes happen a little bit more quickly, but on AIS all we could see was Vamp, and that now tells us why. That's what we could see on marine traffic for the Happy Wanderer, previously known as Vamp. There you go. Did think she looked familiar. Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania in the background now, so we're not far from this finish, especially if this breeze holds. There's a definite line where this breeze is extending to. A big transition zone to get into it. I like the sail number of this boat, 43218. Look at that. Good sail number. My lucky number at the end. This boat will be the 12th boat to cross the line. I have to say that's probably more than what they were thinking on a 49-footer. And next behind them is Ecstasy. There's now an 8 nautical mile gap between this boat and Ecstasy because of the transition period that's happening in the mouth of the River Derwent. You can see this breeze is definitely all on here though. Starting to push towards 18 knots. We're doing 8 knots to keep up with them. I think they'll want to go all the way to this left-hand shore. Oop, little header there. So it's 8 nautical miles back to Ecstasy. And then another one back to Awen, and then Denali is 13 back. And Kokoti. They're all starting to bunch up because the breeze is running out. That would make it exciting, wouldn't it, if we had a few finishes all together? Yippee! Opted to tack over. Dan Cannon doing a great job to negotiate this boat through these tricky conditions. It's swinging like almost 45 degrees of angle. Which does make it incredibly tough, especially when you can see the finish line now. Arced up here. I reckon it's probably 20 seconds to attack. They might go a little bit further to save themselves another. They've got to be thinking about it now. There we go, off the rail, thinking about attack, and around they come. There's that Happy Wanderer flag. And there's the finish line opening up in front of us now. Great job by this team. Western Australian, the first Western Australian finish. Not sure how many WA boats we have in the fleet. I might check that in between finishes. I think they'll, fingers crossed, if this breeze holds, they will cross the finish line on this tack. I don't want to jinx them. They might just have to do a little flop over. Just slow down a little bit now to make sure that that finish box can see clearly across the line for the 12th finisher in the 79th edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. If this holds, they will cross very shortly. Oh, 3 boat lengths to go. Looks like they got a little lift. Wheeling them across here. They should be quite excited. One and a half boat lengths to go. 3, 2, 1. Crossing the line. Happy Wanderer, 12th to finish. Looks like they've got a little fan club here too on this yacht. Just to the left, I can see a Happy Wanderer flag on this boat as well. Look at the kids on the bow cheering. Oh, lots of hugs going on board too. Yay, there's Leander, I mentioned. Big supporter. Woo! Yay! Hi! Hey, hey, hey! Oh, excellent. For a very worthy cause. Oh, fantastic. We're going to leave you now, ladies and gentlemen, with this beautiful shot of Happy Wanderer celebrating being 12th across the line in this Rolex Sydney Hobart. And as veterans, no doubt, they'll be very reflective on all of the ups and downs of this race. Great achievement. Plenty more to come for this edition of the Great Race. Stay tuned to Sailor Girl HQ.